I'm Mark Boncher with American Snowmobiler magazine. Today we have Todd Ochterberg with ISR and Larry Teedy with Woody's here. We're going to be talking about racing. Recently, Todd took over ISR, which is International Snowmobile Racing, an organization that's been around for 31 years and was started by three guys, including our tech editor, Olav Ian. And it's gone through a lot of changes throughout the year. Originally, ISR was a go-between between manufacturers, racers, aftermarket companies. Kind of give us a historical perspective and then kind of where you want to take ISR.
Well, it was started by Richard Golke and Tom Zernia and Olaf. And they started, and it was basically just to keep the drag racing aspect of it going. And they worked throughout the years with all the aspects and brought it to where it is today. And the aftermarket companies had a lot to do with that, and that's where they got a lot of the knowledge. And in the past, the aftermarket involvement has diminished, and my goal is to bring some of that back, and also bring things up like we have a website now, and it's isrracing.org. The rules are online, make things more accessible in today's environment.
And something that, Larry, you said earlier when we were talking, that people think that ISR makes all these rules.
Yeah, we go to many events with Woody's, and we always hear that the ISR is making the rules, they're changing things, why'd they make that rule? And the thing that the end user, the racer, doesn't understand is that the ISR is actually a whole group of us. It's the manufacturers, it's Todd, it's the aftermarket companies, and it's the affiliates that put on the races. And we gather 3 times a year. We get together and we have rules meetings. And those are brought up when all the affiliates come together and vote on rules and talk about safety aspects, new snowmobiles, things that are happening. And the ISR basically is a mediator to work all that through, talk about the history, what has happened in racing, and try to keep it all smooth. So the rules are really a joint venture between the affiliates and the ISR. And I'm the president of Smidge, which is the Snowmobile Specialty Manufacturers and Aftermarket Group. And it's a group of people who are involved in the industry of snowmobile racing who come, help with the rules meetings, and help with aspects on ignitions and motors and suspensions. A lot of the information that the affiliates don't have. Todd brings us into the rules meetings, and we help out.
That's excellent. So we have companies like traction companies or pipe and clutch companies and things like that.
Yeah, we want to bring in all the aftermarket companies we can. In the past, we've had up to 35 members in Smidge. And we're a great group as far as when there's problems, when there was the loud pipe issues and they were making people get tickets in Wisconsin and Minnesota because of loud pipes, when the stud ban was on. The Smidge group came together, we got lobbyists, we worked with congressmen, we got all of those things taken care of. And then when things go well, they all sort of dropped out. When we're in trouble, we come together very strong and help each other, but the key now is to come back and try to bring racing back where it was in the late 70s when things were better, the aftermarkets were involved, and Todd's trying to push in that direction.
You know, I was an affiliate for the last 12 years of ISR, and got to sit on the other side and see some of the things that I didn't like as an affiliate, and I heard the same thing. There was you know, well, ISR did this, and it's like, you know, yeah, ISR didn't do that. It was all the affiliates that got together, and there's over 85 affiliates throughout the United States and Canada. And so when they all come together and help make the decisions, to have the aftermarket to have a problem like studs, and you could go to Woody's or Stud Boy or other items like that come up, it's being able to have the knowledge, because a lot of these are clubs, a lot of these are club members. They're not necessarily great big racetracks. It's something that's done one weekend a year, and so that they don't have the knowledge. And what I want to try to do is work with Larry, get more people into the Smidge app, and then have an avenue that the affiliates can go to when there is a rule change, there is a problem, and I think it's going to work good.
And you've been out traveling to a lot of the grass drags, asphalt drags. I know, you know, we saw each other at the Martin 131 Super Sled Shootout the other day. So you're doing it from a grassroots level as far as ISR is concerned.
And I want to try to get out to more events. The bigger events, those guys got it down. You know, it's some of the littler events, some of the problems that we have with is getting insurance in this day and age. Insurance is a big factor, and we got to just do things smart. So we have to educate some of the affiliates and give them some guidelines and some bulletproof things that they can work with on a daily basis of their event, so that if something does happen, that they're doing things right. Because when we do things wrong and lawsuits get involved, it hurts the whole sport.
And some of the things that you're doing to take ISR, I don't want to say out of the dark ages, but bring it into the modern age. You've got an office.
Yeah, I do have an office. I have an office in the World Snowmobile headquarters in Eagle River. We moved it from West Bend, and I don't want to take a whole lot away from those guys. They did a heck of a job for the last 30 years to keep this going. I just saw that we can move it forward and want to make some changes, and I'm very excited to get working at it.
Sure. One of the greatest things about having it on the web now is you try to bring a new racer in and they wanted to try to find a rule book or find a rule about snowmobile racing. It was not available. You were always listening to gray area rules or things that they didn't know, or my buddy with the garage said this. Now we have a website that have the rules on it. I mean, I was always embarrassed by the fact that you could go on and find out about lawnmower racing on 5 different websites with all the rules, and snowmobile racing, which is near and dear to us, we couldn't find it anywhere. So now we have a place to send people where they can find the rules, see what's going on. And the one big thing that I really want to try to do is help Todd get us back to where everybody's running the same rules. The worst thing in the world now is for a guy to drive 12 hours where he might get rained out, doesn't know if he's going to have an event, and he gets there and they're running different rules than they were in his normal circuit. In the old days, we'd travel 30 hours and race 30 weekends a year. Now guys race 2 times a year because they don't want to go outside their comfort zone because the rules have gotten so scattered. The whole idea is to bring everybody under the same bond again.
And when we talk about rules, we're talking about tech, we're talking about safety. What else are we talking about?
Well, you're talking about safety, tech, and then we're actually having a seminar here in Milwaukee on November 2nd, and bringing the affiliates in to teach them how to tech, and even myself, I'm going to go through the class because I was on the other end. I was the promoter, and didn't get into the tech part of it like I want to now. I want to learn that part of it.
Coming up here, we're heading into the racing season, so we're heading into snowcross, we're heading into ice drags, we're heading into ovals. How do people find more information on both of, when we're talking about smidge and we're talking about ISR?
With the new website now, one thing that the website is going to be neat is that I'm trying to bring so that it's going to be a racer's outlet. He can go there and find out anything that he wants to find out about racing throughout the U.S. So when you get into the website, you're going to look at an area and it's going to have all the different aspects of racing. Before in the book, you had like the general rules, and then you went back and forth, and pretty soon you were confused, and you didn't even, myself looking at it sometimes, I was like, well, does that contradict that? Does that contradict that? Now, if you go to snowcross, it's the general rules and snowcross. Neat thing then is it'll show you all the affiliates throughout the United States and Canada. Then it'll also have a calendar that'll show where all those affiliates have races. So you might be racing with ISOC in snowcross and have a weekend open and say, wow, I'm going to go run with the Great Northern Snowcross Series down here in southern Wisconsin, or I'm pretty close to Michigan. Wow, I can go over there and ride with them. And when Larry was bringing up getting everybody on the same sheet of music on the rules, it's real easy to, as an affiliate, to say, oh, we don't want to change. We're going to do our own little thing. But they don't realize that most racers, they don't read the rules to start with.
Right.
You hate to say that, but they don't. All they know is it's different. And when that one racer doesn't go to that race because the rule is just a little bit different, the whole event, suffers from that. From the hotel in town that doesn't get the 5 guys that come with him, to the restaurants, to all that one racer didn't come because it was, and sometimes it's really something really small, but he's not going to read through the whole thing to compare. He just knows that it's not the same, and I can't race there.
Sure.
So what exactly is their website? Where do these guys need to go?
They can go to isrracing.org.
Okay.
And also there will be, we got a Facebook page out there, which is ISR Racing. And so go check us out and take a peek, just kind of scroll through it, because there's going to be more to come with it. We really wanted to get the rules out. One of the neat things that'll happen in the future is with the website, we can have the rules out in a faster. Before we do the meetings in April and the rules wouldn't come out until September. Now the goal is the meetings are going to be in April, and in 30 days after the meetings, the rules will go live. So that'll be I think to me that's a big deal.
Yep.
And the aftermarket guys can obviously get a hold of you.
They can contact me at woodystraction.com, or it's all on the ISR website.
So you can see more information on ISR Racing in our January racing issue. Check that out. It'll be on newsstands starting December.